Okay, thank you. Welcome. I have a statement here. If I give my colleagues a chance to talk, long, but I think it's important what you want to say. Fellow Kenyans, as you are aware, our party had an event dubbed the Jubilee Mad Delegates Forum last week on Friday 1st, May 2026 in Narok County. A significant engagement that brought together grassroots leadership, community voices, and party structures in a candid of our nation in the future of our. During the party leader, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta addressed delegates through a phone call. What was intended as a moment of connection, guidance, and reflection has since been deliberately distorted into a political spectacle. Over the weekend has been swift, not of the content of his remarks, but of the deep discomfort his voice continues to generate within the current administration. We must ask, as any reasonable Kenyan would, what exactly is so threatening about a former president speaking to the people he once led? This question goes to the heart of the matter. At a time when Kenyans are grappling with the high cost of living, shrinking economic opportunities, and growing uncertainty about the future, it is both natural and necessary that voices of experience, leadership, and perspective contribute to national discourse. His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta's remarks were not incidentary, they were reflective. They were not divisive, they were grounded in the lived realities of millions of Kenyans. And yet, they have been met with hostility at the highest level of leadership. Essentially, of immense stature within Kenya, across the region, and on the continent. His leadership record, his role in regional peace initiatives, and his continued engagement in matters of national and continental importance place him firmly within the league of leaders whose voices cannot and should not be confined by political convenience. His right to speak is not a privilege extended by those currently in office. It's a constitutional guarantee. It is anchored in the very democratic principles that define our republic. To suggest otherwise is so fundamentally misunderstood or willfully undermined. From the very first day of this administration assumption of office, it has sought to construct a political narrative anchored not but in the constant invocation of his. Every challenge becomes his legacy. Every unmet promise explained away by invoking his name. This approach is not only intellectually lazy, it's politically dishonest. Leadership inherited blame. It is assumed responsibility. The mandate to govern is not a not vote for endless political theater. He voted for tangible change. Yet today, the ordinary Kenyan continues to wake up to rising food prices, increased taxation, limited job opportunities, and a growing sense that the distance between promise and reality is widening by the day. It is within this context that the fixation on His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta must be understood. It is not about him, it's about the failure to confront present realities. We are particularly concerned and indeed alarmed by reckless statements from certain political actors threatening punitive action against the former president, including the suggestion that his retirement benefits could be withdrawn. Such statements are not only constitutionally untenable, they represent a retirement benefits for former presidents are not political favors. They are legal entitlements grounded in law, designed to preserve the dignity of the continuity and stability within our system of governance. To weaponize such provisions for political intimidation is to cross a line that no responsible leadership should ever approach. To those issuing these threats, we say this clearly and without hesitation: we dare you. When a former head of state is targeted for expression to the ordinary Kenyan, to the student with an opinion, to the journalist asking difficult questions, to the business owner expressing frustration, to the young person demanding accountability, what message? It sends a chilling message that dissent is unwelcome and to support our president. This is not the Kenya we have built, and it's not Kenya we will allow to emerge. Our constitution is clear: the right to freedom of expression and participation and in this defense, we shall stand with him to the end of the world. We stand for a Kenya where leadership is measured not by the volume of its attacks, but by the depth of its solutions. A Kenya where disagreement is not feared, not engaged, but engaged. A nation where past leaders are respected, present leaders are held accountable, and the future leaders are inspired by example, not intimidation. We are better than this as a country and as a people. Fellow Kenyans, the conversation that began in Narok County was not about one man. It was about the soul of our nation. It is about the direction we are taking. It's about whether we choose accountability over excuses, unity over division, and substance over spectacle. No amount of noise will silence that conversation. No amount of intimidation will erase the realities facing Kenyans. And no amount of political misdirection will substitute for the hard work of governing. History is clear. Retired presidents in Kenya and across the world have continued to participate in political discourse and national conversations. Former President Moi openly participated in politics after retirement. Ruto joined hands with the late President Moi to campaign against the 2010 Constitution, and this explains why, up to now, the current administration does not respect the Constitution. The late Moi also vigorously campaigned for President Kibaki in 2007 general elections. President Kibaki continued expressing confidence in Uhuru's leadership choices after leaving office. Therefore, this administration cannot selectively rewrite the democratic principles and simply because they feel threatened. Jubilee Party therefore reminds this administration and its political operatives that democracy is anchored in constitutional freedoms, not intimidation, fear, or political persecution. No amount of threats or insults will stop our party leader, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, the Jubilee Party, or any other Kenyan from exercising their constitutional rights. In closing, I would like to challenge President William Ruto to come out himself. Let him address this issue instead of using sidekicks. If he has anything to say about President Uhuru's activities in addressing the problem besetting this country or destroying this country, let him come out as a man and address it himself. He owes President Uhuru a duty to protect him, to ensure that he is respected as head of state, just as he himself will want himself to be respected after he leaves office. I like to give, because the youth are also perturbed by what's going on in this country because it's destroying their future. I like to give the youth leader of our party to say a few words before the other official also say something to the Kenyan people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, members of the Fourth Estate. My name is Angel Mbuthia. I'm the National Youth Leader, Jubilee Party. And today I want to state categorically that we, the youth of Kenya, are very disappointed. Kazi yetu imekuwa kuamka asubuhi, kufanya kazi ya kutafuta kazi. But the people at the top do not care about our situation. Uhuru Kenyatta is not an enemy. When Uhuru Kenyatta was in office, he spent 90 billion in his 2 terms. The man at the top today has already spent 89 billion in only 3 years. What does that tell us? Very soon, now that they have allocated 17 billion to the budget of the Office of the President, that means even the oncology department will now be moving to Gate D. Dialysis is going to move to Gate D. Training of teachers is going to move to Gate D. Vijana mkikosa kazi mnenda Gate D, mnafanya applications pale. Because this is an abortion of our constitution and it is absolutely wrong to what this rogue regime is doing. And I am very pleased to speak today, 14 months to the sunset of this regime. Members of my generation, do not allow this to happen a second time. If we allow this rogue regime to come back into power, we will be the ones to lose the most, the biggest and the mightiest. Let us ensure that we continue loving our nation, because even with that 89 billion, our education sector was working. Dr. Fred Matiang'i and Uhuru Kenyatta were busy pushing for this nation. Even when there was a global pandemic, 89 billion was enough to take care of us for 2 terms. Members of my generation, please do not sleep. Let us wake up from that slumber of political menace. We need to send these people home. Hii ni system ya majambazi. Hii ni system inachukia vijana na vyama vya kisiasa. Tusikubali na tusitishwe na tusiogope. Asante sana.
Thank you very much. My name is Wanja. I just wish to ask members of the press to actually play the clip where Uhuru made that phone call. I don't see anything else that would have annoyed them much other than the fact that he called for democracy. He also called for people to respect political rights of others. Under this regime, political parties in Kenya have been having a very high mortality rate. Is it mortality or morbidity? They have been dying. Look at some of the most prominent political parties now that are having a lot of grudges, and we know who is the undertaker and we know who is behind all this. Like all other employees who have worked and left their workplaces, Uhuru Kenyatta has a right to his pensions. We cannot decide that out of him exercising his political rights, we can take them today and then tomorrow when he quote unquote toes the line, you give him back his money. And lastly, yesterday in the evening, one of the most prominent governors who was elected under the ruling party did not speak much, but he said that if he's going to vie again, he will not, he emphasized not, vie with this current political party. One would ask, why would such a prominent governor say that to the whole public? It is because, like all other people who are elected under that party, they do not have faith in this regime. Therefore, the president, his agents, should focus on the real issues. We are talking about capitation, we are talking about money to the governors, we are talking about employment. The last thing that should bother them for a whole weekend is Uhuru's phone call to his supporters. Asante.
That's Wanja, our leader of people living with disabilities in Jubilee Party. And she was speaking on behalf of people living with disabilities. We will conclude this press conference by in addition to what we have presented in our statement, by saying this. And after this, ladies and gentlemen of the press, we will take 1 or 2 questions. There is a time in life you hope that in a serious country like ours, there are things you do not need to spend time on. I mean, there are retired presidents across the continent In Nigeria, there are, I think, 3 or 4. President Kikwete is here in Tanzania. In Botswana, there are quite a number. In Mozambique, there are quite a number. You know, the kind of pettiness that we have seen this weekend and primitivity in addressing the retired president is shocking. We chose democracy. We know that our current president and his team did not support this constitution, but they swore to protect it. And it provides an opportunity for all of us to respect freedom of expression and freedom of association. Our party leader is going nowhere, and our party leader will continue to express himself. It is his constitutional right. In fact, you can go ahead and do what you please, because the kind of behavior we have seen from elected leaders is shocking. We must uphold the decency of difference, that we can have differences, but we can be decent about it. Even the language that is being used by some of these leaders in reference to President Kenyatta is shocking. Even we ourselves as members of Jubilee, and we have said this before, and maybe because we are a party that has governed, we will not even allow and encourage our members to use that kind of language against President William Ruto, because it's indecent, it's unbecoming. We want to build a decent society, and a society that upholds truly the principles of democracy and decency. You know, the retired president makes one phone call, and the government screams the whole weekend. What kind of people are these? And you know, we are reading now, the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, a public sector government agency, has told us clearly with data and statistics that 2/3 of the stories they have been telling us are just blatant lies. On a weekend when senior members of your party are announcing that they will not defend their seats on your party's ticket, when it is clearly displayed to the world that you are a sinking ship, would you be spending your time insulting your predecessors? It's amazing. We want to ask these brothers and sisters of ours in government, there's work to be done, a lot of work to be done. Let's focus on that work and build our country. President Kenyatta is retired, he is a member of Jubilee, he is going to be a member of Jubilee, and he's playing his role as a member and the leader of Jubilee. Leave him alone. Let him carry on with his businesses. You have a country to run. You have a government to run. I mean, tell us about all these goons walking around with police officers. There are places in this country, even last night people are calling me, suffering from cat rustling. You know, people have lost animals and livestock and so on. In that particular environment, you are spending all your time insulting the retired president. And those elected leaders, I want to ask them, sisi tunawaheshimu, you know, we are not going to walk down that hole of behaving like Precambrian people, you know, insulting others for no apparent reason. Tutawaheshimu, hatuwezi kuwatusi, lakini tafadhali, you know, let's build a modern country. Kenya is a serious country. When you see the kind of arguments we're having, it's a joke. What is going to happen when we have 2 or 3 or 4 retired presidents? How many are there in Nigeria? Retired presidents who are going about their businesses. In the US, in the UK, there are 6 prime ministers who have left office, who go to BBC, they go wherever, there are programs. President Clinton has been retired for I don't know how many years. He attends the Democratic Party convention every year. President Obama, the same thing. They campaign for their candidates. And the world has not come to an end. Then in Kenya, some people whose world view is essentially a village view. You know, they are now busy insulting President Kenyatta for just making a phone call. 2 last points. My fellow Kenyans, when you see this language and you see these people talking like this, you must be asking yourself the question that I'm asking myself. Do you want another 5 years of this arrogance and self-destructive hubris? No. Another 5 years of that? No way. Is that how we are going to live? I mean, where a retired president makes a statement and is insulted the whole weekend? What are we telling our children? What are we telling our young people? That is the kind of country we want to have? Sasa sisi kama Jubilee, kiongozi wa chama chetu ako kwa ofisi halali, ndio kiongozi wa chama chetu, tutakuwa na yeye, atakuwa mwanachama wa Jubilee, atakuwa kiongozi wetu, na sisi wanachama tunataka aendelee kuwa kiongozi wetu mpaka wakati ule yeye mwenyewe atasema anataka kufanya mambo mengine. tafadhali fanyeni kazi yenu, jipange na mambo mingi yenu huko. I thought you would be panicking about even some of the members of your party who joined us in Narok. And they were telling us they are leaving that sinking ship. And we said we welcome them. And I want to use this opportunity again to say we welcome them because they are fellow Kenyans. Tunawakaribisha. Twende mbele, because you know, who can tell you more about an institution than those who are inside, who are fleeing it. So, tufanye kazi ile iko, the way President Kibaki used to say, let's focus on the work we have of building our country, and let us ensure that, you know, everything is going well. Finally, I want to use this opportunity to say this. If you actually needed a reason to know how this administration is totally out of touch with reality, look at Finance Bill 2026 they are published. Mitumba traders will be taxed. We have introduced you. I don't know where they live. They live in some alternative universe. But my parting words are these, fellow Kenyans: don't lose hope. Don't give up hope. 14 months down the road, we will turn the corner. We are going to change things. Our country is great. It has no problem. We are better than this, and we are ready to recover our country from the hands of these fellow Kenyans who have different interests from those that all of us have. But we will engage with them in respect and respect the officers they have, because we respect our constitution. And we ask them to do the same. As I said here, some of the language they use, even we who are in the opposition cannot use it against President Ruto, because that is not how our country grows. Na tunawaeleza tafadhali. Let us espouse the decency of difference. You can be on different sides of the argument, but be decent about it. And for those others, like those elected leaders who are speaking as they are speaking, please grow up. You know, please grow up. Kenya is a serious country. We are 63 years into independence. Grow up. Conduct yourself as leaders. Thank you. Yeah. Yes, we'll take questions, and I want to announce that 2 or 3 of us will be here to address the local language stations. Zach and one other member of our NEC will be here to address local language stations after this, basically, to translate this. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The president has been receiving some of his benefits, and his treatment, I mean, I must say here, it's just that President Kenyatta is a gentleman. There are some things that we have not been hoping to drum up and play up. Because as somebody who served in government at a senior level, I am shocked. You know, handling a retired president is the easiest thing on this earth. For any government to do, the easiest thing on this earth. Because the Constitution prescribes what he should get and how he should be treated. When the cars are 4 years old, they are supposed to be replaced. When the employees he decided to go with are treated differently and so on. I mean, when the president can't even be given very basic benefits that he deserves, it's just that he's a gentleman. He doesn't want to make issues about it. And then he's focusing on going on with his life. I think it's upon the conscience of those who are in leadership to respond to that question. Next.
We just wanted to know the issue of Kalau. Are you going to field one candidate as the united opposition?
First of all, on Olkalau, by the way, we've had and we have told, we have people in the field who are documenting information. We hear there are people aligned to this administration who are buying ID cards, which is a very, very serious offense. And they have already started what they are very good at, bribery and pouring money, and you know, running around households and giving people money. That's what they are famous for. And we are asking the members of the public in Olkalau, please, the money is yours that is being stolen. That's why there's no money in school. That's why we have challenges in hospitals and so on. That money has been diverted to come and bribe you. So if you take it and spend it, you're not making a crime. It's your money anyway. But we are in consultation. Our NEC as Jubilee will meet tomorrow, and we will consult. We are members of the United Opposition conscientiously. We have decided to be part of the United Opposition. We will consult with the other NECs of the United Opposition parties. I think we will come to a conclusion and a position that's agreeable to everyone. I don't want to preempt that decision and that announcement because I don't want to take my brothers and sisters in the other parties for granted. We respect each other's institutions. They are doing their own meetings. We will do our NEC tomorrow. And then we will converge and take a position together, which we will communicate to the public. That's how we would like to operate.
Will we see the president hit the road on Kalau?
Now you're asking a different question by which you are putting the cart before the horse, my friend. Yes.
One of the issues that members of the government, especially the Minister for Interior, was accusing the president is supporting the opposition. And there has been talk of the president, former president, having a hand in this new outfit called Linda Mwananchi. Is that something you're aware of? Is that an outfit you're open to work with in the future?
First of all, there are two questions in one. First of all, Jubilee is a party in the opposition. Uhuru Kenyatta is the party leader of Jubilee. So how can you accuse him of doing what his position is supposed to be, namely leader of Jubilee? How is he committing a crime by supporting his party, which is not in government? Jubilee, we are not in government. We are not part of government. So how can you accuse us and accuse our party leader of doing what he's supposed to do as our party leader? Secondly, about the activities of the president, to the best of my knowledge, and I want to confirm here, our president is a very law-abiding citizen, doing his judicial responsibility as the leader of Jubilee, consulting with Jubilee leaders and working with Jubilee leaders. Will we as Jubilee work with leader Mwananchi? Of course, we will work with all people who want change in this country.
Yes.
We will work with all people. I mean, I don't know how many of us would like to see this administration in power 1 minute longer. We will work with everybody who's in that particular mold. And then Linda Mwananchi is very much in that particular arrangement. We will work together. Next. Emmanuel.
Just one question. The president is addressing the parliament in Tanzania. What will be your reaction?
I wish he was exporting good manners. I wish he was exporting good manners there of respecting the retired president and respecting democratic institutions. And at least for once, I hope he will tell them the truth, because he's not very famous of telling people the truth. I hope at least when he faces the Tanzanians, he will tell them the truth about anything he would like to tell them, because he's not very famous for telling people the truth. But we wish him well. In his trip, Tanzanians are our friends. They have a chance probably to feel what we feel anyway. All right. Thank you so much, good people. God bless you, and we'll be in touch.
This is Beatrice.
Yeah.
She's buying in Kalau, and she said she wants to.
Hi, Beatrice. How are you? Yeah, good. No, we will talk briefly after this. Zach, proceed with the local language stations.
Watu wa mlima tunaweza watu hapa tuongee mawili matatu.
Milima.